Hello everyone, so I'm finally filming an empties video, and these are all empties that I have acquired while in college. So it's basically been since the end of August, so 2 months worth of empties. I feel like there's not that much, but when I'm looking at it, there's quite a bit. So yeah, some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff, but we have plenty to talk about. First things first, let's just jump in. I finished a shaving cream this morning. Actually, it was last night, not this morning. This is just from the dollar store. It was Pure Silk. I definitely bought like a bad pack of razors, and I mean, not necessarily bad, but the other pack of razors that I would always use, and I would just order like a pack of them online, I didn't have to use shaving cream for them. Like, I would just use my shower gel. That way I didn't have to buy like this product, etc, etc. But for whatever reason, this last pack, like the razors have just been cutting me or like just causing bumps. So at the dollar store, it was $1, decided to pick it up. I have other shaving creams from like when I worked at a hotel that I'm gonna be using since we're going into like fall spring, but here in California, like, it's 90 degrees today. However, next week it says that it's actually going to drop down to cold temperatures, so won't be shaving as much, so I don't really need to go out and repurchase a whole can of shaving cream, just because they still have like the travel sized ones, and I am going to not be shaving as much because we're going into winter time. But yeah, I buy a bad pack of razors. This was fine. It was $1. It lasted a good bit. Did not smell like coconut and oat flour. I don't think they ever really smell like anything. They just smell like shaving cream, and I have spent way too much talking on shaving cream. But yeah, that is gone. I'm gonna put it here because I don't want to drop them on the floor. I am going to be throwing away the Gold Bond Rough and Bumpy skin cream. I only used about half of it, and I know this is a problem with some of these, but I feel like, ooh, almost dropped my empties. I feel like that when you don't get like a good one, it just balls up, it makes a mess, it doesn't stay on your skin. And this one, it wasn't even open that long. Like, I got this in right at the end of August as well, and it just did it the entire time, and it's really annoying if you're wearing shorts. It gets everywhere. If you're wearing like a short sleeve shirt, like, you'll start to see it like pilling up. So I'm gonna toss this one just because it's no good. Maybe I'll use it on my feet if I want to, but I am using another one that kind of does it, but not as much. And as much as I did enjoy the Gold Bond cream, because it's cheaper than the CeraVe SA cream, because I do have keratosis pilaris. I mean, if you've been a follower, you know I've been using this and the other one prior to it. It's just that they don't make the lotion anymore, like the CeraVe like bake lotion. They just have it in a tub, but they still charge a lot of money for it, even though it has a lot less product, which is why I made the switch to this. But I just haven't had the best of luck with this lately. I finished the Equate Beauty oil-free makeup remover. This is the dupe to the Neutrogena one. The Neutrogena one is a dupe to the Lancome one. I don't think that this is comparable to the Lancome one. However, for the price, I do think this is really good. It's gonna be my go-to while I don't have a job because it's so cheap. I want to say it's like $4, and I just finished it. It took me like almost 2 months to use up. I have another one that I'm using right now, and I use it with my reusable cotton rounds, and I find that's like the most eco-friendly thing to do. I like the balms, but I feel like you go through the balms a lot quicker, so you get more bang for your buck with this and using reusable cotton rounds. I know you have to buy, you can make your own reusable cotton rounds if you're like, oh, but then you have to invest in them. You can make it. I want to say it's a little bit less plastic than like getting a tub, and technically you're going through a tub faster because there's less product, or you're using more product than just this. So this is like my go-to right now. And my boyfriend's calling me. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
How
was your morning been?
It was good. How was your morning?
It was great. I'm out early, as you can see, collected everything.
Oh. Josh, can you say hi to everyone?
Who?
To everyone.
Why?
Can you just say hi to everyone?
Why?
Just say hi.
Hi.
That call took way longer than I expected, so okay, moving on to that rant. I have a pen because I love this pen. This is the Papermate Inkjoy. These are my favorite gel pens. I love stationery. No, that has nothing to do with this channel. I do. Every time I finish one, it's like yes, because most people tend to lose their pens. I do not. I make sure I use it till the end. I also finished the Apu Matte Casicide Cream. This is my second container of going through this. I actually am on my third one right now. I really do enjoy this. It's a good when my skin is not dry to keep it super moisturized. It does have Centella Asiatica, which it helps with like acne scaries and providing a hydration barrier on your skin. Like I said, went through this, have repurchased this, if that doesn't say enough about how I feel about the product. I have a couple of Clinique products because I got like a deluxe little baggie with a bunch of deluxe size samples that I am using. So I used up the Clinique Smart Night Custom Repair Moisturizer. Thought it was okay. It's supposed to be an overnight moisturizer. Didn't think it was anything overly moisturizing. I tend to have more dry skin, so I like extra moisture to make sure my face feels comfortable. I thought this was okay. I had to put some oil on it to make it more moisturizing. Probably something I wouldn't be interested in purchasing. Here is a pack of razors I finished from the razors that, it's the Gillette Fusion. And it's not the yellow pack, it's just like a generic pack. And I usually get the yellow pack, but the yellow pack is kind of like, it's a couple dollars more for less, and you know, I can't do that right now, so yeah. Not that you care what I use to shave or anything. This is from my year-long project pan. This is the Yves Rocher Radiance Mask. I'm not gonna seek it out. Wasn't anything special. Glad it's out. One less thing that I have in my collection / something I used up that I actually spent my money on. Another Clinique item. This is the Clinique Rinse Off Foaming Cleanser. Again, this really lasted a long time. This lasted it really did last 2 months. I could cut it up and get everything out, but this is kind of a harsh cleanser, like a very deep cleaning cleanser, like kind of makes your face feel squeaky. And I noticed it was kind of drying out my skin, and I could notice it when I was putting makeup on, that like when I was putting a matte powder, it kind of like was getting a little bit of dry patches. And as soon as I stopped using this, because it was out from like just organically like squeezing it out, I just decided to call it done. If I wanted to be frugal, then I would cut it open, but again, because we are moving towards drier season and my skin is gonna get a lot drier, I'm just gonna call it what it is. I used it up, and I used it, and that's great. I have 2 other cleansers. I actually don't have any full-size cleansers right now. If you watch my video of things I've acquired on my no-buy year, that is from this year. My boyfriend's mom gave me a bunch of deluxe samples of cleansers from La Roche-Posay. So because I don't have any full-size cleansers right now, that is what I'm using up. I think once I get down to my last 2, I am going to buy a real full-size cleanser, just because I do tend to like travel a lot, and I mean they do come in handy, but because I have so many of them right now, that's just what I'm using as my cleanser. So I am going through them kind of quickly. So I have 2 of the Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. As you can see, I cut this one open. I am going to cut this one open as well. It only has like 1 to 2 more uses left, but I am using a different one right now, but now that I am filming this video, I will cut this one open. Again, to be frugal, get every last bit, prolong the time I have to buy a cleanser, and get every last drop. This one doesn't dry my skin out. It is a gentle cleanser, so it's not like the Clinique one, so that's why I do feel the need to cut it and get everything out. this is my last Clinique item, I believe. Yes. So this was the Moisture Surge Hydrating Supercharged Concentrate. I did cut this open to get every last bit of it. I think this was a good hydrating cleanser. I mean, not cleanser, sorry. Serum for the summertime. If you do tend to have drier skin, and you were like in a drier climate like I was in Arizona, this was perfect enough. It definitely would not help me in the winter in California, definitely more year-round except for winter it would have been better, but I think for Arizona's dry climate this was only really useful to me in the summer because it was hot but still dry. I think the full size, I feel like it's a really small amount for what it is, so I'd rather get something where I get more bang for my buck. But if I ever got it again, I wouldn't be opposed to using it because I did enjoy it. I just don't think the full size is quite worth it for me. But who knows, maybe my skin changes, maybe it'll come into my life again, but not something I would personally go out and purchase the full size myself. So this is New Lash. It's a lash enhancing serum. My boyfriend's mom gave this to me. She thinks that these things didn't work and I just kind of wanted to test it out, see if it did and why not. I already have long lashes as it is. If you've been an avid follower of my channel, you guys know I tend to have long lashes. But when I was using this, I did notice that it really just like made them even longer. New Lash does work. I even started like getting lash hairs on my inner corner, which is something that never used to happen to me. Like, it was really weird. Like, I was growing lashes in my inner corner and I had to pluck them because it looked really weird to me. Like, that's just not right. So if you were wondering, New Lash does work. It does, however, kind of like stain like your lash line. It did get dark and that's why I stopped using it. It was also kind of towards the end of its life. I could have kept using it, but I was like, no, I don't like the fact that it's like darkening that portion of the lid. And it also, the full size is like $90, very expensive. I know that Nordstrom does have it on sales sometimes, like during their anniversary sale and probably, I don't know, probably during the holidays, and sometimes it does come on HauteLook, but I have long lashes. I don't really need to be using this. Just a couple pumps from my eyelash curler and it's good to go. I was like, oh, my Apple Watch is telling me to breathe, but when do I do that? So yeah, it does work if you are interested in eyelash growing serums, but it's just something I tested out and reported back to her about it, not because I am interested in having longer lashes than I am. And like, you know, as soon as those long lashes fall out, like the normal growth of whatever naturally my lashes are, it's gonna come back. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, that is the last skincare item. Let's get into the Make It Be items. This is kind of like a crossover. These were just like blotting sheets. They worked. I used them up. Have some more. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I am decluttering one thing. This is the MAC lipstick in Fanfare. I have had this for a while. This just really stinks. And I tried using it, even with the stink, I tried using it for about like 2 months. And I'm deciding to call it quits on it. Not because like I really can't stand it. I mean, it just doesn't smell right anymore. I mean, it doesn't smell off like, oh my god, something's growing on this. But it just kind of smells like plastic, and there is quite a lot of product, but the reason I'm not using it anymore is because if I try to use this, then the lipsticks I have that are actually good are going to go bad. And this is one of the main reasons I am really not a big buyer of makeup that much anymore, because things go bad and I hate like just throwing so much product away, especially when I didn't use it that much. Like, that's a waste of money. And I've actually been thinking about making a video on how I got myself to stop constantly buying makeup, and a big part of it is because things go bad. And yeah, so I am going to save this in my back to MAC pile. I'm sorry I didn't get to use you as much as I wish I could have. Unfortunately, I won't be buying you anytime soon because I have a lot of lipsticks I need to try to get to before they end like you. But yeah, it was a sad day. I tried it using for 2 months while it still stank. And I was just like, no, this is ridiculous. So yeah. Another year-long Project Pan item is my Rimmel eyeliner in brown. I've had this for a long time. Also, finally got so dried up to the point that whatever was left in here fell out. But I've basically been using this for most of the year. And now it's all done. And I'm really glad because I'm not a big eyeliner user, so, or like pencil liner user. So yeah, one less. I have a mascara. This is the Maybelline Clump Crusher mascara. I used to love the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. That was my favorite, but it was getting too expensive for it only lasting 2 months. Before, like, not even 2 months. I feel like at the month and a half it already started like drying out, and because I don't have a job I can't keep dropping $25 on mascara. But I found a new combination that makes me really love my lashes like the Monsieur Big, except that it comes off a lot easier, and it's the Clump Crusher with the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara, except I bought this before that, so that one's still kicking around. But this one is done, and it's gonna be the one that I keep going back to. And I had been using this before I like started consistently buying the Monsieur Big, so it's good to have it back and good for my wallet. I'm calling it quits on the Benefit Gimme Brow. This was just a deluxe sample. I got this at Ulta. I think it was part of like my birthday thing this year? Last year? I don't know. But yeah, it's just all done. I was using it up like literally at the start of college. I mean, now that it's been sitting, it's getting product out, but the Gimme Brow just doesn't personally work with my brows. My main area, target area with brows is covering like my scar up here, so something like an eyebrow pencil or powder if I want it to be like super light and not super covered, or the dip brow is really what I go to covering up like the spots rather than this, because I do tend to have thick brows. I think this is good if you have thin brows and you want to like, but I already have too thick of a brows, and like just really like using this as it's supposed to be used gives my brows too much thickness for my liking, even though I feel like I'm looking at the camera and it's not that thick. But I mean, I had it, not something I'm interested in purchasing a full size from, just because I have other things I rather focus on when it comes to my brows. But I used it up regardless. My NYX matte liquid liner is also dead. I actually have to purchase another one because I do need it, because I need to wear falsies this weekend. And I have so many falsies at home also, at home in Arizona, and I don't know why I didn't think to bring them, because I thought I wasn't gonna use them, because I didn't think I was gonna join the dance team. But now I had to buy, and I'm literally going home next week, which is like the funny part, so I'm gonna have to buy lashes for nothing. But I also needed liquid liner, so this is the liquid liner I have been using for like the last 2 years maybe. It's my go-to, especially when NYX has a sale. I definitely am going to repurchase this, / will be repurchasing it, because I mean, yeah, it's a brush applicator. I know some people like the pens, but I think I've also had this for a while. Since it's been sitting down, it kind of has product on it, but I could tell like it's just drying out on, it's just the very bottom that has product. It's like drying out everywhere else, and it's not as black, / I really have to work with it. So its life is done. Probably should be done because of how long it has been open, but haven't had any problems with like liners being open for too long. Probably just mascaras, because that's constantly like coming really close to your eye. And the last thing in my little bucket, don't you guys miss my old bucket? I miss my old bucket. This is just an almond dark biscotti that I took from my grandparents' house when I visited, because they gave me a bunch of ramen and it was in this. That college life diet. So that's gonna be my new empties bin for here, because I am not gonna buy like a fancy empties bin, like no. So that way I could just recycle that when it comes to move out day. Anyways, the last thing I finished is my Cover FX powder, translucent setting powder. This was the 4 grams 0.14 ounces, so it's like the travel size that you can get for like 20 bucks. I know a lot of people used to rave about this, but I really did not like this powder. But I still forced myself to finish it, and it's all gone. Like really all gone. There's nothing left in here. Would not repurchase. This powder is too drying. This powder does not make your makeup look good. Like your base makeup can look amazing. Put this on to set it and it's not gonna look good. It just dries your face out. Like your face might not be dry, but it will dry it out. And that's just my opinion. I mean, I thought the same way about the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It just did not look good on my face or under my eyes. Neither did this. But I use this one up regardless, and I'm much happier with the way that my makeup's looking now that I'm not using this. So yeah, that is everything for my empties. Yes, now it'll be like another 2 months till I post another one, because I really don't have that many things that are on their last end. Like it takes me a while, especially because I don't have like such excess of products anymore, which is good because that means I'm actually using a lot of my things with the exception of my lipsticks in a timely manner, and that's always great. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye!